Hello everyone, this is Refresh, and I'm here to check out the Ruthless Regiment commander deck for Magic the Gathering. According to the back, as captain of her sanctuary's military, Jirina dedicates her life to defending the civilians in her care at all costs. Amid constant monster attacks, she and her troops rely on discipline and precise tactics to keep the danger at bay. Includes a deck box, a 100-card deck with 17 new cards, 10 double-sided token cards, foil oversized commander card, life wheel, strategy insert, and reference card. Let's take a look at those contents. Here's our main commander, Jirina Kudro. For 1 red, white, and black, you get a legendary creature human soldier. When Jirina Kudro enters the battlefield, create a 1/1 white human soldier creature token. For each time you've cast a commander from the command zone this game, other humans you control get +2/+0, and she is a 3/3. So this is a humans deck, it appears. Here's our deck box, which is unsuitably small for the actual sleeved deck. Here's our insert. It gives us a very brief description of what you're trying to do with each deck. It's not enough to really know what you're doing, but it's at least something, I guess. And it tells you what to do with each version of the commander, because there are 3 different commanders available. It also gives you rules for commander, some ads. Then on the back, it tells you a bit about each of the commanders and provides some large oversized art for them. So nice that they offer at least some amount of idea of who these characters are. Here is our life wheel and a card divider, I guess. This is our deck. And that's the deck. I'll play it against its peers, and I'll be back to let you know what I think. So let's talk about Ruthless Regiment. Before we go into anything else, I'd like to note that I stored all of these cards, the deck sleeved, and then all of the remainder of these in this box with my other Magic cards and decks, and in the process these boxes started to stick to each other. The insert started to stick to itself and also to the giant card, and so it all completely came apart because of the sticking to each other, and the giant commander card also curled pretty badly, and also the Jirina Kudro, which was sitting on top because it was the face commander, also curled really badly, as you can see here. And this is a problem because there are no non-foil versions of this card in the deck, and so I basically have a marked card whenever this is in the deck and not the commander, the top Pringle that it is. It's so easy to see where it is just by looking at the side of the deck, because it actually lifts the entire deck up. And so this is a major problem with the foiling process and or something with the storage here, because none of my other cards curled in any way, shape, or form in their respective boxes. But this deck box definitely ended up resulting in a lot of curling, and as you can see, there's damage even where the paper stuck to each other here. And so I don't know what went wrong, and this deck box, I think, is the only real thing in the entire kit that the other Magic supplies that I have don't have. And so I'm wondering if there's something wrong with the hydration of this box, because it's the only thing that is out of ordinary for everything else. Or maybe they just made all of these cards with really bad paper. I can't tell, but it is very important to note, because if you don't sleeve these things and you store it in this box, then there's a chance that you might have what happened to me, but it might happen to all of your cards as well, which is really bad. So I highly recommend that you sleeve your cards before you put it into this box here. And perhaps you may want to find a storage solution that's different, because you may just have your Magic stuff get ruined by who knows what it is. I think it's a matter of humidity, because the paper loses moisture, it starts curling backwards, and I think that makes sense because the paper is on the back side of this foiling. And so I think you might be able to restore some of this by rehydrating it, but if you find that your card or your booklet is stuck to itself, I would recommend trying to rehydrate it before you try to take it apart. Otherwise you're going to have what happened to me and see all this damage here. As you can see, the foiling is starting to come off the paper, and the paper is badly warped. And so, that aside, let's talk about the deck. So the deck features 4 commander cards, 2 of which are partner, and then the others, which are your primary commander, your secondary commander, and then your partner pair. And all of these have something to do with the playstyle of this particular deck. And being a Martyr deck, the deck itself tends towards aggression, but the commander you choose can alter the playstyle just a bit. Jarina Kudrow is a straight up human tribal aggression commander and plays probably the best with the deck. She is aggressive, she gives all of your humans additional power, and most of the cards in this deck are human. There are some cards in this deck that are real obvious cards that you want to remove from the deck, and so, you know, it's not a fully powered deck here. It is, I would say, pretty average as far as these pre-con commander decks go. But if you like aggression, this is not a bad way to go, especially if you want to play a tribal human sort of deck. So that is Jarina Kudrow. Kelsey and the Plague doesn't really have a strong thematic connection to the rest of the deck. Kelsey is an experienced commander, and so this one kind of operates on its own. You kind of want to snipe your opponent's creatures using the tap ability to give Kelsey additional experience counters, and the experience counters are on you. And so if Kelsey dies and you recast Kelsey, the power and toughness boost that you get from those experience counters are going to stick around. And so just pinging things that are dying or pinging things to kill them off makes Kelsey stronger. I don't know that Kelsey is going to be the most amazing commander even after all this, because the playstyle doesn't entirely fit this particular kind of deck. Like, your opponents will see Kelsey coming because Kelsey's in the command zone. And so they can kind of play around your ability to kill things with Kelsey, and then you kind of have a 3-mana 2/2 with Vigilance Haste, which is fine, and the ability to ping something isn't bad, but it's not the most exciting thing. And so you may need to redevelop an entirely new deck around Kelsey's ability, and I'm not quite sure what that is, so that is Kelsey. And then we have Trin and Sylvar, and these two make a more aristocrats theme. And there are a few cards in here that feed the aristocrats theme, like Zulaport Cutthroat, but it's not a ton of these cards that have that aristocrats theme. There is a lot more synergy with aristocrats than whatever Kelsey is doing with this deck, but I wouldn't say that it is the highlight or the focus of this deck, so I think that you may need to reformulate the deck just a little bit if you really want Trin and Sylvar to be your primary commanders. But they do work pretty well together. As long as you're being aggressive, Trin will get you 1/1s, and then Sylvar can eat those 1/1s to protect himself and also grow. And so that is that. But overall, I found the deck to be like a lot of aggressive decks, in the sense that sometimes it will just smash your opponent down terribly, and sometimes it's going to fizzle just because it runs out of things to do at some point, or you're drawing your cards in the wrong order. And so I think if you like Human Tribal especially, or if you like Aristocrats, this is a deck that you could pick up. But either way, if you're going to want to play this deck without any major changes, then you may want to be someone who enjoys aggressive playstyles a bit more. So that is my thinking about the Ruthless Regiment commander deck from Ikoria. Let me know what your thoughts were and your experiences were with this deck in the comments below. If you found this video helpful, hit the like button. If you'd like to see more of my videos, you can hit subscribe. This is Refresh. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.